Hey, hi, hello everyone. Good evening. If you guys can hear me, see me, and if you can see my screen, can you just give me a thumbs up or a yes in the comment section? Hello. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for confirming. So, yes, good evening, everyone, once again, and welcome to our next hands on workshop and GenAI Academy 2.0 for a security track. And we have already wrapped up previous session and hands on workshops. And the small surprise we had lined up today, we are shifting to security track where we'll be working with directly to practical exercises, code labs to understand how security fits into GenAI workflows. The hands-on session is all about building, experimenting, and seeing concepts arrive through actual implementation. So, without any further delay, let's get started. And before we move on to the next, we already know we have been this through many times, but once again saying that during our very first run of GenAI Academy, we saw an incredible response with more than 3.2 lakh developers across the country stepping up to strengthen the expertise in Google Cloud and AI. That scale of engagement is a set a powerful benchmark for what meaningful upskilling can look like. So that's why we are here in Academy 2.0, which builds a foundation with a renewed learning experience. This edition focus on multiple tracks and the multiple pillars starting from data to AI, ML, and cloud. Everything here is structured in a self-paced format so that everybody as a beginner learner have their own speed while hitting the industry standards. So it's not only for people who have already have been into this all these AI things. Even if you're a beginner over here, this is a perfect time to start. As I said, this program is not just about learning tools. It's about preparing you for the technologies that are actively reshaping how business industries operates. So let's continue that journey with today's hands-on workshop session. And again, before that, let's take a look at what sets Academy 2.0 apart from the previous edition. If you're new to this session, there was something called Academy 1.2, which we had more than 3.2 lakh developers, and everyone followed a single consolidated learning path where you are a student or a working professional. The journey was the same. Five essential courses, one certificate at the end. Okay, we got it. But Academy 2.0, new beginnings, new starts, and new tracks with far more flexible and domain driven structure. This time you can choose from focus tracks such as data, security, DevOps, networking, AI and ML, and serverless. Each track includes its own curated set of courses, hands on labs, and independent certificates once you finish. And there is much more better things in the shop for those who are aiming high. If you complete all the tracks, you'll be getting a final academic completion certificate recognizing your full journey with the program. Whether you want to depend on a single domain or you want to take on the full spectrum, the path is fully in your hands currently. And ask the question, why participate? So why should you invest your time in Academy 2.0 journey? Let's break it down clearly. The first comes skill validation. So you're not only just learning it from master classes or hands-on workshops or etc. This is happening on Google Skills official platform where you'll be earning official skill badges for every course and every tracks you complete. So you can display it in anywhere in your resumes, in your curriculum, in your LinkedIn's, you can post on social medias. So the skill validation is an official one. The next is job readiness. While technology is shifting at lightning speed, and staying employable means staying updated. So this program offers the kind of experience on hands-on experience and practical exposures employees actively look for. So helping you stand out in roles across cloud and AI. And finally, mastering the AI tools. AI is just a buzz, not anymore. Every day we hear AI is taking over jobs, AI taking over jobs. What if we take over the AI? It's now embedded into how modern products and service operates, right? And that's exactly why you should learn how to work with it. Throughout this program, you will gain real experience using Cloud Run, Firebase, Kubernetes, BigQuery, and more. And so you're not only learning it, you are actually building with AI rather than just reading about it or knowing about it. And if you're wondering what are the specialized courses we can choose about, here it is on your screen. We are starting with AML, security, networking, DevOps, serverless, and data. And if you want to complete all this, you're free to do, and we are not stopping it from there. And the next is how to earn a certificate. So we have done the end-to-end run through of how to earn a certificates in our previous two master classes. If you have missed them, please do rewatch them from the program dashboard on the masterclass session, where we have a detailed walkthrough on how to submit a Google Skills link, how to submit the skill badges link, how to get the certificates and everything. But I will give you a small run through over here itself. First, you need to create a Google Skills profile, and, or if you can continue to running the existing one, you are free to do it. Attend a live or recorded masterclass by Google Cloud experts. We earlier had masterclasses running, and we will be also having the masterclasses coming in upcoming weeks. So this is an hands-on workshop, but we do have masterclasses piled up in the next week, so you can attend them as well. And if you have missed the previous two masterclasses, please go to the program dashboard where you can see the masterclass over there and complete all the courses. If you pick a track, make sure you complete the end-to-end courses so that you'll be getting a specified course track certificate. Or if you want to earn the academic file, academic completion certificate, please do complete every single track listed in the program, and you will be getting the skill badges for this, and you need to submit those skill badges. So whenever you learn a track, you'll be getting a skill badges for a specific track. What you have to do, you have to take the skill badges, submit on the program dashboard. The detailed submissions, everything is listed on the program, and the detailed overview is given in the previous two master classes. So if you have missed it, please do go back to the program dashboard and navigate to the section called master classes. From there you can able to pick up all the steps what were given for the submission of Google Skills account and submission of skill badges as well. With that, I don't want to take much of your time. We all know why we are here. And now let's move on to the most awaited part of today's session. We are joined by Anshit Nishan, Customer Engineer AI Specialist, Google Cloud. Anshit will be guiding us through the hands-on workshop focused on security. And hi, Anshit, how are you?
Hey, Nish, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. And the stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope you had fun till now. We'll directly get started. We'll get started with some security related services which you should use while you're using generative AI. And there are some cases where you would need to. One second. Yeah, there are some cases where you would need to you would need to um, protect PIA data of your customers, and this is how you're going to do it. So we have a specialized service for it. It's called sensitive data protection. What it is, why it's important, let's dive deep into it. And we are going to do a hands-on lab on it. So there are a lot of sensitive data which your customer trusts you when they are signing up for your application or or your service or whatever, right? They give you their phone number, their addresses, their names, so many personal identifying PII information, which it's your duty and your compliance to protect them and protect it from any kind of misuse. How do we do that? So there are a lot of things on it. Like first, you have to discover where the data is. So there might be many chat conversations in your app where people have simply just sent their phone number. Phone number is a PII data, or there would be some kind of simple conversations that someone would have revealed their location, someone would have revealed their email addresses, right? So you need to understand where the data lies, and it's very difficult on a huge scale when you're handling multiple customers. Your databases is you have spread across databases different kind of data. Some are images, some are proper structured data, a lot of unstructured data. How do we discover it? Once discovering, how do we give control about, like how do we give control to that data to relevant people? How do you protect it? We need to, it's a literally a needle in a haystack problem where you have tons and tons of unstructured chat where you need to find the PI data and protect it, right? And how do we protect it? You do de-identification, because you anyways need the complete unstructured data to do for the processing. Before going for further processing, you need to do de-identification. So this is what we are going to do today. So there are multiple assets which are supported with sensitive data protection. which is a lot of Google services like Google BigQuery, Big Lake, Cloud Storage, Cloud SQL, our data stored on Vertex AI, and some third-party data stores as well, right? A lot of places data can be split across. You need to bring them all together and then run a de-identification on them, and that is what we are going to do today. How does it work? So we spoke about needle in a haystack problem, right? So this is how it literally is. Like, for example, this is a simple chatbot, a simple chat text where someone is giving their information, basically their card number, date of birth, their phone number, social security number, whatever. So you need to find those text elements, and then you need to de-identify them. So when we are using data sensitive data protection, it works something similar to this, where you have the text and you redact the PIA data. For example, here if you say, see, the name has been redacted, the card number has been redacted, and if you see in the image had a lot of data which was crucial, that has also been redacted. So without further ado, let's get started. I understand most of you are aware how to sign up, get credits, but still, I'll just quickly walk you through the process. I have already done it for my account, so I'll be quick over here. So, how do you claim credits here? If you have not claimed the credits, let's quickly follow this, and we'll get started with the hands-on lab. Go to this link. Yeah, so once you have this link, you need to sign in with your personal account. Please make sure you're signing in with your personal Gmail account. Do not use your work account, because we do not want the billing ID to mess up and whatever. Just try to sign with your personal account. Click here to access your credits. Accept. And once you're done that, you need to create a project. Since this is not your first class, I understand you have already gone through this process. We'll just quickly walk through it. Go to the console, select the create a project, create a new project, and then give a name, attach it to the billing ID, and we have the project now. So I'm going fast here because I understand we already have done this in the previous labs. This is your lab link. Let me go through the Codelab here. This is your Codelab. Just give me a quick shout out if you guys are here with me. Yes. Awesome. Now I will quickly share my whole screen. Okay. Okay, so this is the console which you see here. I will go back to the lab in my different screen. I would recommend you have the Codelab open and ready, and let's walk through it. So what are we going to do here? We are going to so we'll get some dummy data, take some dummy data, put it in our GCS bucket. Then we will create some parsers. We'll parse it through the GCS bucket, and we'll basically de-identify the information. So we'll go through step by step. What is the data available? What are the things we need to make sure how to do it? We'll just follow step by step. Okay, so setup is done. Let me quickly walk you through here as well. Okay, so project setup is done. Let's enable the APIs. So before that, we need Cloud Shell. So how do we get Cloud Shell? So if you see on the console on the right hand side here, there's something called as Activate Cloud Shell. Click on that. The Cloud Shell will get activated here, and you can open it in a new window. So I always open in a new window so that we can have the whole screen for ourselves. I'll close this. Now we have the Cloud Shell open. Cool. So far, so good. Now let us set the project. So for me, the project is already set. So I'll just for set it again, the project ID. Now, where do you find the project ID? This is your project ID. If you see here, click on projects. This is your project ID. So the command is gcloud config set project. So usually by default, the project ID is set here whenever you create a Cloud Shell, whenever you open the Cloud Shell. Okay, we need to enable certain services. So if you see here, we need to enable Google Cloud Storage and we need to enable DLP service. DLP is, if you see here, data loss prevention service. So gcloud service enable Google Cloud APIs and DLP and cloud storage. So for me now these services are enabled. Okay, let's go to the next section. Let's go through what are we doing here. So we are creating two storage buckets. One is for input data, another is the de-identified output data. And then we are going to clone a repository. So let's first quickly create the buckets. Then we'll go through the GitHub link. Okay, the GCS bucket is created. I'll just verify it. Go to console, search for GCS, go to cloud storage, go to buckets, and we have the buckets listed here. Okay, we created input bucket and an output bucket. Now let's go to the repository. Okay, so in the repository, security sample data, security sample data. Now there are three folders here: CSV, images, and logs. Let me give you a sample of CSV data. So if you see, we have this is an email address, or this can be the email address. We'll decide, and then there is a message. The message in the message also there are some email addresses present here which we need to de-identify. And similarly, there are multiple CSV files here. Similarly, there are multiple images here. Let me show you some sample. So if you see, phone number is there, email address is there. Yeah, pretty much this data. And then we also have some log files. And the log files has a contact number of the doctor, which again we need to de-identify. Okay, so far so good. Quick feedback. We are good till here. Okay. I got few yeses, so I'll proceed. Quick walkthrough. Just we are cloning the repository and moving it to a folder and then remove the folder. That's all. So I have the sample data here. I now move the sample data, whatever is there in the sample data, in my input bucket. Okay, let's verify from the console. Yep, we have the sample data here. Next, we need to create an inspect template. So I would want you to follow the guide properly. I'll go to this console and we'll do it step by step. Number one, search for sensitive data protection. I'm already in this console, but you can search for, it will come to the same console, sensitive data protection. Here we are, it comes under security. Okay, and then from here, we go to configurations. I already have this enabled. Let me quickly refresh this. I go to configuration. I go to templates. I create a template. And then I give a template ID. So if you are copy pasting from the Codelab, please give the exact same template ID. If you are just giving your commands yourself, feel free to change the template ID. I'll give the exact template ID, what is mentioned. And then I will continue, keep everything as default. Now here I need to click on manage info types. And then I need to select the ones which are mentioned here. Of course, these are mentioned for this current lab. When you are using it for production, you need to go ahead and use whatever is required for your data set. So in our sample template, so these were the important PI data, or essentially data we need to secure, like credit card expiry date, credit card number, date of birth, driving license. It's always good to have credentials and API keys, passwords, person names, social security number, etc., etc. So we'll just quickly search these and select them. Email address, GCP API keys, GCP credentials. Organization name, password, person name. You should. Okay, done. And then create. A quick check with you guys. So far, so good.
Anshit, you are on mute if you're speaking.
Sorry, we have
No worries.
completed the inspect template. Next, we are going to create de-identification templates, and then there are three different de-identification templates. The first one is for unstructured data, second is for structured data, and the third is for image. So in the data set, we had three folders. We had what other things we had? We had CSV, logs, images. So this is structured data, unstructured data, and images. So we are going to create um, template for all of these three data set. Cool. Let's get started one by one. Yeah. Okay, we are in the sensitive. Let's go back and then go to info types. Um, let's create a template here, and this template will be de-identify template, and then data type is info type, and the template ID. Again, you can give your own template ID if you're not copy pasting the links. Sorry, the commands. Okay. So good configuration. Continue. So here we need to replace the info type. Replace with info type name. So this is what our de-identification method is. So what is this? Basically, whenever you find the secure data, what do you need to replace it with? So we are replacing it with the info type name. The info type name here would be something like what we are creating right now. Okay. And let's create. Let's do a quick test. So if you see here, my name is Alex has become my person name, social security number, and the phone number. Let's go ahead and create the other two de-identification templates. We'll create another template, remove sensitive data, and this will be record type. So first one was info type, second one is record type. Okay, let's use the template ID as de-identify structured because we are creating for structured data. So in structured data, what are the IDs which we need to mask, right? So we can specify the IDs ourselves. So I can give user ID and message here. In our structured data, the structure defined that this is the user ID and this is the message, and these are the things we need to de-identify. And we are going to select the transformation type as match on info type. What are we going to do? We are going to mask with a character and ignore US punctuations. So basically what we did, search for data which is needs to de-identify, mask it with hashes, and ignore the basically punctuations. and we will create it. Let's quickly create the third one, which is for image. Similar process we have created for structured, we have created for unstructured. Now we need to create for image. So again, we need to select de-identify, we need to select image, we need to give the template name, sorry, template ID, and the display name if you need to, and then configuration. The redirection color, basically a black mask on the sensitive data, and we'll select any detected info type defined. Okay, so now we have three de-identify templates. Give a shout out if you have completed till here. Have we reached till here? Okay, I see a few questions in the chat. Project ID, I think someone answered it. Project ID is something we get from here. This is the project ID. And I don't think it should ask for payment if you went through the process, the first set of processes, steps where you actually claim some free credits from us. Okay, so we have three template created till now? I just got one yes. Is it too small? Okay. I think people are still doing it. I'll wait for 5 minutes. I mean, 2, 3 minutes. I need at least 5, 6 yeses from people who have already done it. While we are at it, let's go through the next set of processes. Till now, we have created what are things we created? We created an inspect template where we defined what are the things to inspect. We created de-identification template where we defined how do we de-identify it. Next, what we are going to do is we are going to create a de-identification job. Now, till now we have not connected our GCS bucket. We need to create a job, connect the GCS bucket, and then basically run the job so that it goes ahead, scans through all the data, and then de-identify, and then we can decide what do we do to this de-identified data, where do we store it. So we are going to, in our lab we are going to store it in the in another bucket which we created. Remember the output bucket which we created. So we'll get the data from input bucket, de-identify it, put it in the output bucket. Okay, I got a lot of yeses, so let's proceed. Let's quickly walk through it and then we'll just run through it, then we'll go to the console. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a job. In the job we are going to give the storage bucket. Is it still I'm not sure how do I change it. At least I can increase the font size. However, you have link to this Codelab. ठीक है. So we create de-identification job. So what will we are going, so what are things it needs? It needs your input data. So this is where we'll give the input data, which is input hyphen the bucket name, project name. This is the bucket name which we have created, and put the input data. And then we are going to configure. So we have created 3 templates, right? So we are going to configure all of these 3 templates one by one for this de-identification job. And then we are going to give the output location. Once it is de-identified, what are we going to do? We are going to put that data in the output bucket. So we are going to give the output bucket location, and then create a job, and then wait for the results. So let's get started. Just for your information, right now my output bucket should be blank. Yes, it is blank. And I have 3 de-identified template. Let's get started. We need to create a job. Okay, so how do we create a job? We need to go on the inspection section, and we are going to create a job. I will give the same job ID as PII remover. And let me check if my bucket was, it is multiple regions. So multiple regions, and storage type will be GCS. And we are going to scan a single file. We are going to scan the bucket, and we can simply go ahead and select the bucket. So here we are going to select the input bucket. Okay. Next, we need to do configure the detection. Okay, let's give the template. This is the action template. So make sure you paste your project ID here. I repeat, do not blindly copy paste here. You need to change the endpoint with the project ID, which your actual project ID, project/project ID, locations, and all of the other things should be same. And sections, we need to make a copy. Okay, this is where you give the de-identification templates, the 3 templates which we created. This is for unstructured. Again, I repeat, you need to give your project ID in the project ID place. Similarly for other 2. Okay, simply what we did, we uh, gave all the three endpoints, or basically the template location of unstructured, structured, and image templates which we created. And this is how you usually do it. Again, I repeat, please make sure you give your project ID right after projects. Okay, and here we need to give the location where the de-identified data will be stored. Again, same thing, paste your project ID. Again, this is straightforward. This is the name of my project, which is Output GenAI Academy. Output GenAI. So this is my job configuration. I have all three of my templates here. I have the cloud storage output. I have the file types here, and these are the info types which we will go ahead and de-identify. Let's create. Okay, I think there was an issue in the comma. De-identify image. This is the issue. This is the issue. Okay, so the job has started. Once the job will complete, we will have some findings here, how much data got transferred, and a lot of details. So we're going to give it some time. Just give me a shout out. How many of you has uh, has started the job till now? Please give me some confirmation. Okay. The job has started for a lot of you. For me, the job has completed. It did 1900 findings, did 1100 transformations. There were no errors. And let's go ahead and check. Mm, so this was the input bucket, output bucket. Let's go ahead and check the output bucket. Okay, so now we have data in the output bucket. So let's go ahead and do a side-by-side comparison from input data to output data. So this will be my input data. Okay. Let's do a, let's select some image, easier to view. This was the input image. This is the output folder, the output bucket. In the folder, image. Okay, so what are the things it de-identified? Let's go ahead and check it. So it's email, phone number, SSN number, email, phone number. I don't know what this was. Okay, this is a name. It identified as it as a name. I don't understand this language. I'll try to go and check any other image. It was Lorem Ipsum. Okay. Okay, all seems like similar data. Okay, let's see some other type of data. Let's see some CSV data. Okay, the CSV got downloaded, so I'll have to share my screen. 1 second. Okay, so we downloaded the chat log data too from CSV. So we'll download the chat log data too from here as well. And I will let me share my entire screen. So if you see here, I think it's too small. Okay. I hope this is visible. Let me just zoom in more. Maybe some more. Okay, so if you see here, this is an email address which got masked here, and there is an SSN number which got masked here, and similarly we have multiple more email addresses, SSN numbers. If you see, all of these are masked data. Okay, so far so good. Okay, cool. So, um, guys, are you with me till now? We created some templates. We de-identified the data. We put the data into a new GCS bucket. We compared the data. We compared the CSV data, and we compared the images data. So we now can confirm that we are able to mask securely the PII data, or whatever secured, whatever data you want it to be secure. Now, why do we do this? There are multiple reasons to it. First is, many countries has a compliance that you cannot share any kind of sensitive user information to any third party, or maybe some data residency problem where you cannot move it outside the country. And in today's world, where a lot of data goes to LLMs, we tend to simply just copy paste and put it in all the LLMs we have today, right? We do not care what kind of information we are sending. However, when you are working on an application, however, when you are working on uh, client data, you need to make sure that you do not share any kind of sensitive information with a third party hosted LLM in some of the crucial segments like fintech. You cannot share this data even to an LLM which is hosted maybe outside the country, or some third party data center. How do you send this data there? So you simply go ahead, de-identify them, and then you send it. Then you are a bit on a risk-free side, where you are not sending any kind of sensitive data to the LLM, and you are compliant today. Cool. So that's it about today's lab. Um, if you have any questions, I can take few questions. Thanks, Ganesh, for coming back.
Yeah, Hansi, thank you so much for the lab. And it was wonderful. Even I learned a lot from you. And yes, participants, if you have any questions regarding the code lab, if you have any specific doubts, please feel free to drop your questions in the comment sections. We will be taking the questions one by one. Let me see if we have any questions earlier. We have a question with Yoga with Jia. Sir, I want to know what is the benefit of joining this course. So, Yoga with Jia, if you're talking about the program in total, we have briefed the why participate thing in the very beginning. Just to reiterate things, there are a lot of things starting with the skill badges, job readiness, and hands-on on latest technology, etc., and etc. More details have been briefed in the start of the session. It's also available on the program dashboard as well, so you can reiterate from there. And the next question, which we can take up, like, can I do this hands-on later? I do not have laptop with me, so can you provide me the video link after that? Yes, the sessions are always available on the program dashboard under the section called masterclasses. So if you miss any part of the session, or you want to revisit the concept, please feel free to go back and revisit the entire sessions under the program dashboard. So there is one question for you, Anshit, which is like, Um, if the data is encrypted already, then how does the masking logic works?
Okay, so if the data is encrypted, you are encrypting the complete data. If you need to make sense out of it, you need to send the real data to an LLM. LLM will not decrypt it. This is not for encryption at rest or encryption in transit. This is for when you are using it on on your pipeline where you're making sense of this data, maybe sending it to an LLM. That is where we need to send the real data, not an encrypted data. This is not for encryption at rest or in transit solution. So you need to send the data which makes sense, but you also need to retract the data which is too sensitive. And that is where this solution comes to the picture.
Okay. And we do have another question on, yes, if the data needs to be masked, then why the information needs to be uploaded?
Uh, so you cannot restrict your customers. So if there is a free chat option in your app, you cannot restrict the customer from uploading any kind of data. You cannot do a live processing, and you cannot always successfully remove the data at input as well. So this is a post processing which you're doing, and there are some places where you would need data. For example, for a KYC process, you would need the data of the customer, like their identifying the Aadhaar card or PAN card number. You do need for some of the processes, but there are if those data are there where it's not necessary, this is what you can use to retract it and use the other information. Okay.
Great. We do have another question. Can we do a selective de-identification, meaning de-identification on a particular set of customers?
Yes, so it depends on where you store your data, how you store your data. This is a more of a pipeline solution where you, so there were multiple inputs, right? It was not just GCS. So you can maybe put it in one kind of database and you select just that database to de-identify. The current lab was the easiest setup where we had a GCS input and GCS output, but there can be multiple different variables in different pipeline.
Okay. I do have another question. Can you explain how the transformation works?
So when you speak about transformation, it's like how do you de-identify the data? So we do have our own algorithms which go ahead and detect it. Now these algorithms may not be generative AI because this is a managed service. We, as in Google Cloud, provides this as a service. In the backend, we might be using a mixture of um, specific models which are trained to specifically de-identify these data. So again, as from a consumer point of view, it's a managed service for you.
Okay. And the next question is how LLM justify the data is sensitive.
LLM does not justify, we justify. Remember, in one of the steps, we actually selected what are the data we need to de-identify. We selected email address, name, SSN number, credentials, etc. So LLM does not identify, we identify and give it to the pipeline so that it de-identifies. And then the post process is one of the post processes LLM. It need not always be an LLM.
The next question is, it's a big question. The question is, what safeguards prevent re-identification of anonymized data?
What safeguards prevent re-identification? Uh, so I don't think so. I have an answer here. We do not. I don't think it's possible to re-identify if it's like directly replace. It's not like we are. masking it with a simple black highlighter, we are literally replacing the entire text. So I don't think it is possible, or I would say easy to re-identify. It's a completely new data which we have created.
Okay. And another question, how much a layer on transformer?
I didn't understand this question. How much a layer on transfer?
I think the master referring to requesters, but Pavan Shah, if you can brief your question in the comment section, more brief in the upcoming questions, we can take it again. So moving on to next question, how transformers tackle millions of requests at a particular time?
Well, this is how the power of where the power of cloud or Google Cloud comes into the picture. We manage it for you. We parallelize the jobs.
Right. And we have another question. Instead of PII data, will this work for biometric data as well?
Essentially, the biometric data is also stored as some form of text. So yes.
I think we are into the session and I don't see any particular questions related to code labs on security. Yes. I think that's it. I think that's at the end of the session. We are coming over here. And thank you so much. And thank you so much for spending your time over here walking us through the cloud labs and security and how to protect the data and share them across the Google clouds. And thank you so much, participants, and for spending your time here and attending this hands-on workshop. We will see you in another hands-on sessions or another master classes. Until then, it's bye from Ganesh. Thank you.